Hello, busy dads, busy people everywhere. I'm out of breath because I've just finished the final weight training session of the Busy Dad 28-day mass building program, and I thought I would just take a couple of minutes to debrief about the program, share my thoughts, share my advice with anyone at home who is considering trying it out for yourselves. So overall, I would say that given the goals of this program, it has been a pretty massive success. I weighed myself this morning and I picked up 5 pounds on the weight that I was at starting off this month, and the diet's been pretty on point. I've been sticking to that just 10% caloric surplus, haven't been going crazy, and so I really do think that although of course some of the added weight will be just fat, I think there is definitely some muscle here that I've picked up. I feel different walking around. I feel a little bit thicker, a little bit more powerful, a little bit stronger, a little bit more the way I used to feel when I was walking around between powerlifting sessions. And so if your goal is to build muscle, but you don't want to go for a traditional powerlifting, bodybuilding, power building type approach, I really think that the Busy Dad mass building program uses burpees to create a credible alternative to that pathway. So I really would say, if that's where you're at right now, if you just want to build some new mass quickly, consider the Busy Dad 28-day mass building program. It will do the trick. Now, I should be clear about why I did this program. I don't have any body recomposition goals myself. I'm very happy with my walking around weight, with the amount of muscle that I'm carrying. I've been bigger than I am right now, and to be perfectly honest, I really enjoy the feeling of lightness, of agility that comes with having a much leaner physique. And so I didn't do this program to bulk up. I really did it just so I could put my money where my mouth is, so that I could trial this, do a test run for you guys, so that I could share my thoughts, my advice. I'm going to be going back to my ordinary maintenance calories, and so I would have thought that most of the weight that I've picked up over this month I will now get rid of. Perhaps I'll hang on to a pound or two of extra muscle mass, maybe not, we'll see. If you want muscle gains to be lasting, you'll need to up your calories, on a long-term basis, and that's not something that I want to do to my body. I don't want to subject myself to more calories than I'm used to having, and so I'm going to be going back down and probably losing some of the weight that I've picked up. For me, as enjoyable as this was, I would only recommend the Busy Dad mass building program for people who either A, want to make changes to their body composition quickly, or B, are hitting a bit of a burnout with their traditional Busy Dad training and want to break, want to rest, want to go away, do something else that's going to help them build back the hunger. And I can tell you, my friends, I'm very, very hungry for traditional burpee training right now. As challenging as these workouts were, nothing even closely approximated the depth of a burpee workout. Straight Busy Dad style burpee workout where we're not using any equipment, it's just us on the floor, and we're going for speed, efficiency and form within that 20-minute time frame. These workouts push me, but nothing has pushed me as hard as burpee training. One thing I definitely learned from this is, even though different forms of physical fitness don't transfer that well, so for example, if I tried to lift the same weights that I used to lift before starting burpees, I probably wouldn't be able to lift those now on the basis of my burpee training practice. So although sheer physical capacity doesn't translate that well, mental fortitude does. The mental resources that I've built through my burpee training meant that the kind of sessions I was doing on the Busy Dad mass building program, which in the past would have been terrifying to me, were just kind of pedestrian. They really, really didn't faze me. And that was something I was very proud of, very pleased to notice. Conversely though, after a month of these weighted modifications of the burpee, I am terrified of a return to my Busy Dad style training. And I do not think that the mental resources I built in this training practice are going to help them very much at all getting back to the original one. I think that if you want real grit and hardness, burpees are the way to go. There's nothing like burpees, just straight, unreconstructed, unapologetic burpees for building mental strength. And so for me, as fun as this has been, and as much as I would recommend it if you want to build muscle quickly, it's all about burpee training. And I'm very, very excited to be returning to my practice. I've renewed my hunger. I've renewed my excitement. A couple of just pieces of advice though for people who are going to try out the Busy Dad Mass Building program. The first piece of advice is be mindful of when you program your rest. I would strongly advocate programming a rest day after the leg workout, the squat session. I took my resting heart rate the morning after my squat session, and it was 20 beats per minute higher than it usually is, which shows that I was still a long way from being recovered that day. And so if I trained that day, I probably wouldn't have been able to make the workout, which is itself a very difficult workout. So my first piece of advice if you're on the Busy Dad Mass Building program would be definitely program a rest day after squats. And then if you can, hold open the entirety of the weekend to really recharge your batteries before you go into the next week. Another piece of advice I would give is, if you want to take the program to the next level and really attack the upper body, consider, if you've got access to it, putting a weighted vest on top of the added dumbbells or barbells. The barbell or dumbbell component only really gets you posterior chain activation, bicep, forearm, trap activation. If you want to add something for the pecs, the triceps, consider putting on a weighted vest so that when you're in those deep push-ups, you've also got something extra to push off on your way back out. And even consider wearing that weighted vest for the 5-pump Navy SEALs at the end of the week. The only other thing I'd say is be very strict with the calories that you take in. You might think that throwing on an extra, say, 250 calories a day is going to make your life easier as someone who tracks calories. It doesn't. I found it was even harder than it usually is for me to resist going over my caloric budget for the day. Something about adding that extra bit, opening the floodgates, creates the temptation to just open them wide open and just keep ploughing in more calories than you need. That's a kind of occupational hazard if you're counting calories. You lose track of when your body is actually full and when you feel full. You're constantly budgeting for how many calories you should be eating, and you constantly feel a bit restricted when you hit the budget. There's constantly a temptation to go over, at least for me. So don't think that it'll be a walk in the park. If you want to get the results, you're going to have to be strict, maybe even stricter than ever, with your calories. That's just that's what you're buying into if you buy into calorie counting. That's just the lay of the land. But beyond that, my friends, I'm really pleased to have done this. I really would recommend it with all of the caveats that I've just brought up. But for me, for the next month, I'm throwing away any equipment. No weighted vest, no dumbbells, no bullshit, no gimmicks, just pure Navy SEALs and 6-count burpees as God intended them. And so you're going to see me going back to my roots, reorienting in my burpee training practice, just going back to the Busy Dads program, the original, the best. And hopefully I can get back to my graduation numbers, and if I do that, and shed a bit of this extra weight that I'm carrying, I might resume my practice in the Busy Dad program 2.0 going into October. But for now, it's going to be all about reconnecting with that burpee training practice. And I would definitely recommend that if you do the Busy Dad Mass Building program, don't get lost afterwards. The Monday that you're done, the first week when you finish the program, back to burpees. Burpees are all you need. They really are. I believe that more than ever right now. So that's going to be the message that I close with, my friends. Burpees are all that you need. Take care.